Morning all. Yeah, meeting just had went on a little bit longer, so she's been joining a little bit late, but we should be all right for half past. Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Stopped a bit of thunderstorm now. We're going to the racket's so bad in the background we can't hear ourselves, eh? Okay, it's half past, so a little bit late coming. You should try and get in about 5 minutes beforehand. Yeah, well, it's been an interesting last week, I tell you. When I say interesting, it's probably a diplomatic way of saying not the greatest. Funny things were happening. Just let these guys in. So that was done. Conflicting stuff coming out. The non-farm better than expected, so that was inflationary. The other stuff coming out was non-inflationary, so it's conflicting message sent to the Fed. Had a virtual meeting, the OPEC, on Sunday, and it turns out they're going to continue with the slight reduction, not increase of production, slight reduction of production. So I do see some more upside on oil, although I'm not too sure about enjoying it here. I think those are in Brent at the moment, as we go on the screen, I think can hold. I know in the trade we've got about 81.90 and I think $84 on the signal. So you're all in profit at the moment, but I'm not sure. It's not far away from 84, but I'm a little bit hesitant about joining it now. But I do see it upside. So if you're in, I would hold. But as always, modify, stop loss, protect return. That's the name of the game. As you can see, with a lot of this is not just this particular instrument. A lot of instruments you look at, you'll see the wicks. The wicks tell you the big boys. There's a lot of indecision out there. A lot of conflicting fundamental information coming in, which makes sometimes the technical side a little bit on the difficult side, because you see, technically speaking, it's a buy or a sell, but you get worried about the interference from the fundamental side, which is not making life easy, and was proved last 2-3 days last week. Yeah, so I think a lot of people who came to the trade room were financial assets safe, to be honest, because they realized to modify and we've discussed, etc. But I know a lot of guys who are not in the trading room jumped in too quick in the wrong way, often overexposed and modified, and one or two things that didn't happen that were good. I mean, shall we say tears were flowing, sort of thing. So as always, when you get this sort of fundamental interference, doesn't mean you don't trade. It means you modify stop losses, carefully with position size, and be open-minded to sometimes the strange. Okay, morning, Kearney. Okay, we'll look at that then. Morning, everyone. Here for 30 minutes for load shedding. Yeah, well, what can we say? That's going to go on for the next few years, I'm afraid. Yeah, I don't get a trade out on it. You might have done, but I don't get a trade out here in the trading room on it. I'm pretty sure I didn't send one out. But anyway, yeah. Well, again, technically speaking, that is a sell the Aussie and buy the yen scenario. It's come back up and tested that support or resistance, whichever way you're looking at it. Will it hold, etc. But at the same time, I'm just worried about this yen. I'm not sure it's going to continue being as strong as it is. And I think there's a lot of pressure in China over this COVID. It's starting to lax it up a bit, or at least relax the laws a bit on it, which will be good for the Australian dollar. So technically speaking, that's a short, but I think it can get some more upside. So if it's technically a short, and I think we get some more upside, it makes me a bit nervous to go in either way, if you see what I'm trying to say there, and everybody out there. Interesting name for guys who joined called Love Stains. Interesting name, eh? Let's move on. Okay, so yeah, what's your take on this? As I say, I personally might be a bit of upside, but technically speaking, that's a sell. And that confliction does not sit well with me as a confident area to go in a specific trade on it. Hope that all makes sense. Because the whole idea of the trade room, sorry, flashed a message I have to speak to Marcus. The whole idea of the trade was discuss these ideas so we can learn from each other, not just from me, but from each other. So yeah, no problem, Anne-Marie, fine. So my policy of this one, I'm a little bit hesitant to do it. I'm nervous to buy it, but I'm certainly nervous to sell it. Now, what do you think? Not just what I think, what do you think? I've given you my side of the discussion. What do you think? Do you think it's worth taking a short or a long, or do you think it might be better to do an LIA? It's a good old Traders Room LIA. I'm clearly I'm not going along with that. Okay, sorry, I only hope I answered the question on that. Try to be honest in here, doesn't always what you might want to hear. Probably desperate to do a trade, I don't know, but I would be a little bit nervous to do that. To be honest, I've just come out of quite an extended meeting, and the only one I thought a possibility was the dollar yen and the gold, but I'm a bit nervous on both. I still quite like the dollar yen as a buy, but I want to get a bit better price. The week short course. Just give me a second. Yeah, I mean, there we are on the weekly. That looks like a buy, doesn't it? But look, it's right up against resistance. So I'm glad you pointed that out. It's an interesting situation there. I've said my piece. I'm inclined to the upside, but I'm not confident enough that I can say to you guys, I reckon that's a great trade. Remember, we didn't have a last from Wednesday, Friday, depending on individual, but overall, I don't think it was a great ending to the week. The fundamentals were stuffing up a bit, so I think we're a little bit cautious at the moment on that one. Want to get the money back? Anyone who lost money, get it back. Anyone who made some money, it's slightly different. But, and that's where we have to be a little bit patient and circumspect. Morning, Vedna. Mr. Loop. That probably sums it up. Thanks, Farley. I agree. That probably sums it up, Jethro. We've tried a couple of times. Well, I'll rephrase it. I've tried a couple of times, and it's come back and smacked. So I'm going to strongly go along with you on that, Mr. Watts. A little bit wary. I think maybe confirmation, but I think we're getting there. Okay. I mentioned the US dollar as there, Roger. Yeah. Ex-dividend. Okay. Okay, right, dollar yen. I see some upside here, but I want to get a better price. So go back to the daily, in a bit. Yeah, I want to get a little bit better price. Things pulling back a little bit. Took out 135 and I thought missed the trade complete. We're at 135, 10, 12, just about an hour or so ago. I want to get pulled back a little bit. Keep an eye on the DXY. It's not much happening. Remember, finally, we mentioned about 104. Didn't quite get there, but near as damn it got there, as you mentioned, and I agreed. Let's get the right way around. I didn't say it. You said it, and I agreed, not vice versa. Let's get it fair. Take that trade, but it looks short for me, yeah. I'm short the dollar still now. I think it's a bit too sold. I think we're finding bottoms there. I think we've got some bargain hunting coming in, and I think it's a possibility of a bounce from here. I just want to see that confirmation, that 200-day moving average holding, and if we can take it up. I personally like to get about 134.50, maybe 100 quick stop, and then we can take it up to maybe 137, 137.70, something like that. But I think it's a possibility if we get a better trade. Having said that, does anyone want to go, Isabel, look for a short in it, or anyone want to go in now? That's my take at the moment. I'm looking for a long, but at a better price. Anything to add on that one? That's one of the few possibilities I saw out there, unless you guys come up with something. Well done on your trades that were more aggressive last week, by the way. I think that was Gerard. Did quite well on it. I think it was Euro JPY or something did quite well on it. Yeah, well done. Okay. Might be, unfortunately, having quite a bit of a boring Monday. I'm hoping the dust was settled over the weekend, but quite frankly, the non-farm stuffed it up a bit because that was a lot better than expected and sort of notched the bit a lot better. And that put the interest rate back on the drawing board as well, from 75 basis point increase. And then it's conflicting. Didn't get a lot of follow through, very jumpy on it. So yeah, keep an eye if you like it. But remind me, come back to it later on if something happens. Okay, we can go back to it if you like. Before we go to the indices, to look at gold. In theory, gold, technically speaking, is a buy. I don't think anyone will disagree with that. That is a buy. In the buy zone, it's held on Friday, came back, tapped it today, and held. It's not getting much follow through. My main worry is not technically. Technically, that's a buy. Simple as that. No problem at all. Again, my worry is the fundamentals. If that DXY doesn't recover, the yields don't recover, and start coming off again, I'd be surprised. I think it's probably a bit oversold at the moment, but I thought it was oversold at 105 at one stage. A lot of people, not just me, a lot of analysts, thought 105 was the line in the sand. But as we mentioned, finally, or you mentioned, and I agree, it got to 104. Surprisingly good happen, might even go further down. I don't know. But watch that DXY. I do see upside. I think this is a buy. Technically speaking, it's a buy. Not even up for argument. But a little bit worried about the fundamentals. Having said, I think it's a bit overcooked. I think there could be some increase in the dollar from here, the yields, which would be a negative for gold. So I've got a bit of a worry on that side. Like I mentioned, AUD, JPY just now. So even though it's a technically a buy, I think the fundamentals might push it down. I'm therefore a little bit nervous on it. Having said that, particularly some of you guys went along and thought, no, hang on a bit, let's get a vessel and let's do it. And did well. I mean, the Euro JPY is a classic example. I think it was that one. Did very well. I know a couple of people did anyway. Yeah, so anybody want to do the gold or should we leave it? I've given my say on it. Leave it alone. I sell it. Yeah. You still want to go to the buy. Okay, before we get AUDJ said, well, there we are. This is interesting. Nice one. This is interesting. Right, we'll have to do both then. The cash and I will do both. To buy it, I think we have a stop. I like a $20 stop. Maybe that's too tight. Maybe I have to make it 25 a little bit. Well, I'm looking more or less about a $20 stop. Make it $20 stop. If it's broken through there, it's going to come further down anyway. So yeah, $20 stop. Just put on the weekly for the TP. And I thought, oh God, look, this is a problem. Sorry, oh, who's that? Nkosi. We have a problem with the weekly. No. I'm sorry, I'm just put that out, Nkosi. That is a problem. It'll have to break through there first. If you ignore that, you can put the stop up here somewhere. That's maybe about 1842. I had that put down in my weekly snippet about 1842. So you've got about a $40 upside, $20 downside. So you get your risk reward. Not a problem. That worries me. I'll put it up and see what you think anyway. You want a slightly wider stop, tell me. I like the 1842 as a way to go. Just make it straight 1840. There we are. I'm going along with that currently, personally. I'm not seldom do that. That's the buy, but my worry is that technical area there. It might lean towards a bit of downside. I'm getting quite honestly, I think it might be a bit of downside. I think the DXY and the yields are going to start moving up a bit, which means that's going to push gold down. So that's the buy. We'll put it down anyway and see how it works out. 1800, 1780, and 1840. Just a second. We'll put the seller. Just a second, as I write it down. $17.80 is your target. Then you're going to need a tight stop, make it 18.10. So I don't like that. Sorry, I want the stock to me is a bit too tight. You can knock it out and move up. I'll give you an example. What happened today? It shot up. Well, shot up. It went up to 1810 already before it came off. Personally, $10 to me is too tight a stop. So it's up to you, but I'm going to put my stop at 1820, and then you can take 1850 as your TP. I mean that you can put what stop you like it clearly, obviously, Henny. But I'm just advising you, $10 you can easily get knocked out. You'd be very frustrated. You see my point there, Henny? I showed just now. Yeah, that did see. Already did that this morning. That was probably about an hour ago. So it's back to breakthrough here. Go back to the weekly. We see you there. A quick look at the 4 hour. Yeah, bit of a not finished yet. Remember, they're only going to finish at 12 o'clock. This looks like an evening star build up. Personally speaking, I'm a little bit wary on both sides, but I'm inclined to the down. Still, look at the FTSE with pleasure. Did a good one last week on that one. Okay, does anyone want to do the short on this one? I've got it written down if you want to come back to it. The long or the short? Long or the short and the tall? Fair enough. Better go along with on Jethro. Okay, I've got them both written down. We'll keep it down if you like. If you want to take them, you know the score is quite straightforward and complicated decimal points on that one. Okay, FTSE. Well, the Dow's flat at the moment. Remember, they tend to follow the American indices. They're slightly leading to maybe a bit of downside coming in. We'll look at the Americans as well. Look at the FTSE first. We need to look at the Americans in combination. I don't know. A bit indecisive there, Coney. Remember, we did a nice trade last week with our TP, but it looks a bit indecisive on Friday, bounced up after coming off. Went up again today. Remember, it's only 10 hours old today. Went up today, and then it came off. It's a bit indecisive there. I'm not too sure I'm confident to chase it now, although I agree with the downside. Morning, Morris. I think it was you, DLK, and the Euro JPY, isn't it? Yeah, personally, I'm a bit nervous to chase it now. Anyone feel we should chase it now? So even at 1 hour, it's not really getting going. See what I mean? Yeah, I think leave it, eh? I'm with Anne-Marie on that one. I just don't think there's enough movement on Monday morning to look at a quick day trade. There's a momentum there. You want a quick 20, 30 pips. Yeah, I hear you. There's not much momentum. Look at the 1 hour, like I say. That's a put off to me. It's not really, no. Okay, sorry about that. Might be a bit quiet today. I think the Euro JPY was one you guys did. I was a bit nervous of it. I was a bit chicken on that. I think it was a buy, actually. You did well. Euro JPY at 141.60. Well, bloody done. Who was the mastermind behind that one? Well, I don't think it was me. Anyway, whoever thought of that one was doing okay. And yeah, it's getting up to a bit of resistance now. You are 80 pips in profit if you went the same price of the trading room signal on Friday. So I think, don't be say you're going to sell it. Sorry, don't be say you're going to exit it, but don't close it. But I think you can maybe modify your stop for the text. What do you think? 142.10, something like that? on 42 cents, 30 pips behind, and then you'll bank what, 50 pips. If you get stopped out and it continues up, well, what a pleasure. Yeah, so don't sit joining now. Just a recapping of well done, guys, on that one. I didn't. All right, let's go back to the bad news now. The CHF, JPY. I'll start off with that one. I had quite a good feeling about this one as a buy, and that good feeling didn't do me any favors. I'm afraid I didn't have a great last week, guys. I'll be up front. If you suffered, so did I. I didn't have a great last week. Got knocked out on this one. I think I got knocked out 3 of them actually. So not one of my finest hours, to paraphrase Churchill. Yeah. It's gone back up to resistance. Will it take it out to the upside or not? I'm just not sure, to be honest. Horrible, but if I'm not sure, when in doubt, stay out. Okay, fair enough. Well, if you're long on it, I think it could be some recovery. If you're in it long, I think I personally, this day, prefer to be in it long than in it short. But I'm not sure I'm going to rejoin it at the moment. Sorry about that. Shame. You see, when you've been in the business a long time, it's like being an older guy. You're more frightened than the younger guy. Young guy thinks you're more. And I'm still sort of nursing my wounds from the last couple of days, unfortunately. Well, I had a good couple of weeks. I mean, I'm not worried about it. It happens. I know that. Doing it long enough. But it doesn't mean I like it any better. But yeah, I'm inclined to hold along, but I'm going to be hesitant, John. I might jump in if we can start taking these guys out here. Then I know it's burst of resistance, maybe get some upside. I'm expecting upside on it, but I'm hesitant to join it now. Okay. CAD JPY, again, disappointed me. Stopped me at 99.90, and then, of course, got a bounce, but I didn't move the stop because it's tempting sometimes. And just as well, I didn't, because it went down to 99.44. Tempted to want to move it and add on, that's, I work my risk out at 99.90. I keep on about it in the trading room with you guys, and we're going to do it myself. It's a bit hypocritical. So I thought, well, I'm not going to. But we're all human, we're always tempted. It's got to bounce, got to bounce. Why has it got to bounce? Because I want it to bounce. Oh, a lot of millions of people going short didn't want it to bounce, but I think from that point of view. And so I got stopped out. Again, like the CHF JPY, I'm a bit where to join it again now. But again, I think the yen is oversold, overbought, and then the Canadian and the Swiss franc are oversold. So I'm expecting and hoping for a more confident entry. I'm expecting upside on both. If we get that right, at least it'll salvage the problem we had on Friday with it. Very disappointed there. I must admit, my guys in the group were very supportive of me. I think I needed more therapy from them the other way around, because I do take the responsibility quite seriously. And it really hurts. Not worry about my account, right, Jack. Talk about the guys out there. Trust and follow it and respect that, that, and then it comes back and bites out. I don't take it well, put it that way. Pisses me off. So, yeah. So I'm a little bit nervous to jump in again this year. Okay. Sorry, it's a bit boring. I get that, but those who've been around a long time, you're going to get unbelievable movements. The poor guy just joining, he comes and he's been smacked by Nike in the mind by Mike Tyson. It moves so quick. Other times, it's just the opposite. But we are getting some upside in the DXY, so we might get some trades coming soon. We're going to buy the dollar, sell the gold, or whatever. We shall see. Never mind. There we are. Okay, that's my opinion. Not necessarily right or wrong. Otherwise, it's been right every time. So somebody can actually disagree with pleasure on that. Remember, it's not about ego here. It's about making money, about learning from each other. I was right, you were wrong. Oh, I'm so pleased that went against you, which means I'm right. Not that sort of childish display. We've got to make this work for everyone. This is the 1 hour exponential. Okay, this is obviously the simple, but doesn't a hell of a lot of difference. Okay, I'll look at that in a moment. So, are we going to hang 5 on this one, or are we going to do it? What's the consensus? You're going to buy it, sell it, leave it alone. What's the consensus? Remember, it's a forum. I need your interaction, not just for your sake, for mine as well, because I learn as well. Remember that. Okay, fine. I think it's been to the others. Thanks for that. Right, the Euro NZD. I'll be very, very worried about buying it. Let's just look at the economic calendar. Anything big coming out today? Lagarde is speaking today at, I think he's already speaking 3:45 this morning. What's he doing that? So it says there, what the hell should she speak at 4:45 in the morning for? That's what it says there anyway. Okay, we've got their PMI coming out on the pound and the PMI coming out on the US dollar at 5 and the pound 11.30. Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest, I've looked at the chart now. I expect some downside on this. Pretty well happening. It's come down to resistance. Is that going to break for more downside? I'm wary. I'm looking at downside. I'll be honest. I'm looking at downside here. It's in the buy zone. It's on support. So technically speaking, on the 1 hour chart, it might bounce. Let's look at the 4 hour. It might bounce on the 4. And it might bounce on the daily. So so I'm not keen to put out. Technically, that's the buy where it is now. I'm not keen to buy it now. I think we can get some movement on the dollar to push it down. 2 conflicting areas there. Fundamental, I see downside. Technicals upside. Makes me a bit wary. I don't often use trade lines. I presume you mean trend lines, Martin. I sometimes use them. The problem is, let's say you put a trend line in the right place, then, Martin. Other guys put in different places. Naturally, you react to that information. And even if you're in the right place, most of the others in the wrong place, because most of the others got in the wrong place, they'll become self-fulfilling to that trend line. So I'm always a little bit wary of a trend line. Mine, with overwhelmingly, is the fundamentals and support resistance and occasionally the fin. There, thank you. Don't forget, mustn't forget the weekly as well, guys. Nice to be reminded there. The weekly is definitely looking like some downside. That's yeah. I'll be very wary of the long on that technically. In fact, yeah, very wary of the long. Look at the 200 on the weekly. It's looking like it can't get by. Going back to the sell zone, I think it's overbought, and I think the dollar's oversold. I think that's a case for downside. I'm just a bit scared at the moment, so I'm going to cover my backside and say, let's wait for some confirmation. If 105 is taken out or something like that, we might get something. Anyone want to go an aggressive short here? Or aggressive buy, can do that. We're going to buy the S&P. I see some downside. We'll have a look in a moment. We're going to trade actually in the S&P. It's even break even last of it. Well, what I use is the moving average on the day. You use these moving averages work in all charts. If it's between the two, I think it's a buy-sell zone. Here's a buy zone, here's a sell zone. Unless it's right down here, it's considered undervalued, then I might buy it, or right up here, I think it's overvalued, I might sell it. But it's just a quick filter. And these are often good areas of support resistance as well. I don't like overcomplicate. I used to have all sorts of fancy stuff. Forgotten half of them now. I just find it proud of my analysis. I've just found it works for me. I've changed the last 3-4 years, which worked for me better. Keep it simple. Hope that makes sense. So if you haven't got it, just put them on. That's a 200-day simple, 50-day simple, and that's a 10 if you like it. And then don't forget to right click, save the template. Okay, so what do you think of the euro dollar? What do you want to do about it? I haven't really know that. That I don't know. That part I haven't heard. Okay, so anyone want to do a trade on this one? I'm angling towards the sell, but I personally like to get some more confirmation. I might leave it alone as well. Let's look at the short-term chart at 15 minutes. See a few bars already coming in. Look at that. Now the sellers are coming. Oh, that's not enough. Well, I hope you're in profit. I think it's reached a bit of exhaustion. That you could come right. Sorry. Hang on. Should be muted. I don't know what happened there. Well, that's fine. Oh, that's fine, Kuda. Thank goodness for that. Well, let's modify your stop and make sure we get some downside. We could get back to 105, maybe get a little bounce there. Just trying to move up again, but maybe modify. Make sure we don't lose the trade, basically. Yeah, you're right. I think it's going to be, I think we go long on the LIAs at the moment. Yeah, there's a good recommended trade. Buy long LIA. At least you can make some stuff. I mean, sometimes you're going to miss out on a big return, but sometimes nice to bank the bloody thing with fast up and down. It's very irritating. The profit turns into a loss. I get that. Okay, shame, Jester. I mean, yeah, it's a worry for South Coast, continual load shedding. I don't see any way out of it at the moment. Well, I do, but the draconian requirements will not be accepted. Hire it, get expensive skilled labor in, and quite frankly, where a lot of bureaucrats go, but they won't do that. Monday guys here, right there. Okay, all right, there we are. All right, the golds. Some guys went on gold, some guys went on long. I was inclined to the short. It's not much happening. It's about $1 in profit. You went short. Not much happening. That's right, the indices. Let's do the S&P as asked. We're already in one, don't forget what's happened there. 4061, I think it was. Just see if I can written down here somewhere. Ah, yes, 406. Sorry, 4071. We got a short on Friday, I think it was, at 4071. Or was it Thursday? Anyway, it was last week. We got a 4071 short. We're slightly in profit. This is getting in the way, so we get this out of the way. Slightly in profit. You know, hold on. On the day I get it to the buy zone, but I think it's overcooked. I think we could get a bit of a pullback here. We sure can, and the AUD. But I'm not sure about a buy here, no. Having said that, it's been defended every time it breaks through. I think there's a lot of indecisions to do last week. I think we could get a pullback here. Same with the NAS. Let's do the NAS quickly before we go to the other two. I mentioned a weekly snippet. A good chance that 12,000 is going to hold. So I'm angling on a bit of downside with a 200 pip stop, take back to 11.5. So I'm angling slightly on the downside there. Okay, we'll do the AD cat first, requested first, so I'll do that. I looked at it this morning, I didn't find anything there, to be honest. I think we might get a bit of strengthening coming in the AUD on the fundamental side, but I feel the same for the Canadian as well. It's clear in the buy zone, but I'm not sure I'd be confident to chase it here. And if you look at the last two candles, including today's, which makes it 3, it's not getting going to the upside before the sellers are coming in again. I'm not confident enough to sell it, but I think even though it's in the buy zone, I'll be right to chase it now on the upside. That's why I looked at this morning. I didn't put it down to maybe the trade idea. Morning, John. How do you feel about it, Kevin? Do you want to buy it? Well, put it there. Never mind, Kearney. What about anybody? Anybody will buy it. All included, yeah. Leave it alone. I'm with you on that one, Phil. Anyone will buy this? I think it's our long LIA again. We're getting hit 100% hit rate in LIA longs at the moment. Not me. Yep, I'm with Anne Marie on that as well. Anyone want to do anything with it? I think so, Mike. If you put a gun against me, I had to do one or the other. I think I might get a bit of downside here, but that's a gun point at me. I've got a gun point at me, so I'm leave it alone. Wicks make it leave it alone, yeah. Absolutely. You get the idea what I'm on about now, here, guys, yeah? Look at those wicks. It tells you a hell of a lot. Don't put fancy indicators on. You can if you like, nothing wrong with them. But it's quick and easy. Just look at what the buyers and sellers are doing. And the buyers are selling you that there's not enough momentum pushing it. And if they are pushing, they're taking profit very quickly. And you know how frustrating being a trade getting no follow through. If you're not losing, you're not really making it. It's a hassle. Okay, right. Okay, one. Agree. I keep saying one, but I think it's pronounced Juan over here. But to say the New Zealand cricketers from South Africa call him Wagner. Just sounds strange to me. Wagner didn't sound right. Or Labuschagne, who plays for Australia. Just doesn't sound right. Anyway, whatever. I'm leaning towards the pullback, but not strong enough to think it's a good idea for trade. But you think so? I'll put the calculator up with pleasure, as always. Okay. Sorry, new guys. It can be sometimes you get days like this. Happens. I have to say, normally on Monday. But yeah, never know. Okay, I saw GBP JPY is the other one, wasn't it? You want to look at? Well, I can look at that, and I'm reluctant to sell it. And is there head and shoulders there? I'm really pushing it. No, it's right. No, I can't see a trade there. It's indecision. Yeah, wait for confirmation. Yeah. Well, that immediately tells me on the daily it hasn't broken through the 200. They're still defending it. Is the Japanese that strong? Well, it's reasonably strong, but is the pound that strong? Reasonably strong. Surprising the economic problems they got over there, especially the social services are folding big time. They're famous for its free healthcare, but not anymore, it ain't. And police through PC, the people are leaving the police force because they can't do their job. Ties are tied behind their back. So there's a lot of problems occurring there. Life crime's on the increase. There's a lot of issues there. They still have a problem with immigration. They always take that as some sort of racial slur. It's not. It's illegal. Why should you have it legal? I mean, racial slur. If you steal, you get a prison. Why the hell should a person come into your house without your consent? You know what I'm saying? And park his ass there. You know what I mean? Well, they do that. They put him in a hotel. So I was creating quite a bit of hassle. Well, the guys out of citizens don't have a home. And they're getting these guys legally coming and being bunged into hotels and being fed. So it was causing a lot of emotional upset, as you can imagine. Still, the plant's not been too badly. But that being aside, what are those wicks telling you? Okay? Comes off, buyers come in, goes up, the sellers come in. I'm afraid to say we're going through a hit rate of 100% at the moment of not me or disinterested or leave it alone or whatever you want to call it. But no. Hi, Ali, welcome. Welcome to Trading Room. I don't know if you've been before. If you haven't, clearly you know what the score is. You put the chat line. You can't unmute yourself at the moment because I have to mute. There's a bit of background noise there. But if you want to talk, I'll unmute you. No problem there. Some guys want to buy it. Some guys want to sell it. I'm in favor of the sell at 1800. Some guys will buy it at 1800. I'm in favor of the sell. So put the gold back on. Anyone want to do this before we move on? Say, look at Brent. It's coming off slightly, but the problem with this is this going to hold technically. That's why I'm nervous of gold. Technically speaking, it's a buy. Fundamentally speaking, I think we could get downside. So I'm leaving more the fundamentals outweighing it, but not enough I'm confident. But just for fun, I put both, sell and the buy, and see how they materialize. I put my hand up and say, I think it might be a bit of downside here, but I'm not too sure. If you ask me, should I go in? I'll be hesitant to say yes. Okay, good enough. Brent. As mentioned, I do see some upside. I mentioned earlier on in the session that the Saudis are sticking with the slight pullback in the production of the oil, of which they had their meeting, a virtual meeting, on Zoom, wherever they do it, on Sunday. So to be honest, I see some upside on Brent. We're already in a trade at AG4 on the MT5, and sent out as well to the WhatsApp group at 84. But the privileged trading room Marines got an 81.90, so they're smiling nicely. So if you're in, I suggest you hold. I suggest you move your stop to at least break even or a bit of profit, depending where you got in, just to protect yourself. Now, the question is, you're not in. Should you get in now? I'm going to stick with the trading, the MT5, what you call it, mailbox signal, where I like a buy at 84. I'm going to stick with that. I'm not sure I'll be chasing it now, but I'm not totally against it. I'm looking at the long. Okay, simple as that. I'm looking at the long. I'm waffling a bit because I'm thinking ahead as I'm speaking. I like it, but I think if we can stick to the 84, right about these levels to get in, yeah. Let's look at a shorter term chart. You get some support there. Look at the weekly. Maybe 85. If you don't get to 84, maybe a bounce on 85. If you're not in and you want to get in, maybe 85. But I'm a little bit to go in now. But I think a lot of you guys might still be in, unless you're stopped out. I wouldn't be sure to get no Petra. I see upside here. Pietro, I should say. Sorry about pronunciation. Okay. Now I'm looking for upside here, but as I say, I'm reluctant to go in now. If you're in, stay in. If you're not in, maybe 85, preferably 84. Any comments on that? If you like to take a chance, can't say I blame you. Can't say I blame you, right? Fundamentally, it should be upside. Okay. Where can I put the stop? Might go wider stop before I get the calculator out. On the daily chart. I like $4 stop. We'll do a $4 stop now. 81. Do it down there, just below those guys there. 81.80. There we are. Make it just make it around 90. Might get a 90.50 if you want. That's not going to work, is it? So not much choice in the matter. Should see that immediately. It's not going to work either. Shit. You have to make a type of stop. It's any way around it. Yeah, you have to make a type of stop. 82.50 is a stop. You can squeeze that. I don't think why. The Saudi, I'm talking fundamentally. The Saudis said they're not going to open up the taps. They're going to stick with the policy of slowly reducing. Can't give the amount of barrels, by the way. But yeah, slow reducing should be a boost oil. Plus the fact, even though never mind the technical aspect of in the sell zone, I still think that some buyers will be attracted to this for trading purposes. And I think a lot of the old guys out there want 90 back on the cards. I mean, Donald want that money from oil, and then $5 a barrel, you lose a few million a day. It's like, you know, $5, $20, $30 million a day less than what you should be getting. And that's a lot of money, even if you're very wealthy. So if you want to take a chance on that, if anyone wants to join Kieran, I'll put it down as a buy. I'm suggesting slightly better price, but it seems to be we might miss out. Anyone do this in aggressive trade at market? But it's shooting now because the risk reward starting to clamber a bit. Do you want to do it before it goes below 1.50 and you miss out? Fund is in on Kono actually. Okay, I'll put that down. But doesn't mean to say you go in again if you're already in. Or if you're already in. Okay, fair enough. That was good enough. 85.56, 85.56, 82.50, and 90.50. Just suggest getting quickly. If that drops below 1.5, your risk reward might not be worth it. I don't want to put that stop any higher. You don't get knocked out the noise. But it's starting to move in your favor anyway. So that's fine. Yeah, I wouldn't be chasing it now, guys. If you're not in, don't chase it now. The risk reward now is not attractive enough. That's my opinion. If you want to chase, it's up to you. But yeah, if you're in, you're already in a couple of bucks. That's good. But yeah. Okay, well, tell you what, that's. I think we won't get a trade out today. We've got a trade out. I'm quite chuffed about that. Oh, I hope someone. I was praying no one's going to mention NGAS. I put a fat line to that NGAS trade, and I was hoping to stay below the radar. That wasn't another one of my finest moves. He was doing so well. Oh, hang on a minute. I have to be honest, I didn't lose on it, but I got stopped out in the profit. But I'm thinking maybe a lot of you guys had modified the stop and were stopped out in the profit. So it might not be all doom and gloom. But yeah, I did hit the stop loss at the original stop loss, yeah. Not quite sure why. I often scratch my head when it comes to NGAS anyway, but yeah. If you got stopped out in the profit, so be it. I leave it alone going on. Well, there you are, Maris. That's good stuff. That's how you trade. You come in, do you? I know a lot of guys don't attend the trading room, then they complain afterwards the signal doesn't work because it didn't modify them. It's a nice profit. Came back and stopped them out. You know, some of them gets a hair's breadth of the ready TP, didn't get there, comes off, stops them out, and said the signal's no bloody good. Where the guys who modified would be smiling. Okay. That's already going well. So we'll come back to that later on today and see if we can modify the stop in case 86. We'll see anyway. Okay. Well, that's fantastic news. Thank you for that. I think you did quite well in the Euro JPY as well. If you're still in, actually modify your stop. Very much so. Don't turn that winner into a loser. Okay. Right. I'm just going to go back. Can I knock this off? No. Look at that. Definitely don't do it now. Look at that risk reward. Brilliant. Nice jump. Well done. That's aggressive. You know, fortune favors the brave. Well bloody done. Right. Dollar yen. No, it's not come back a bit. I was hoping to get on this. It's not coming back. Just looking again at the DXY. The DXY is starting to fall. It start to return to normal. Start to go off a bit. So feeling we might have missed this trade. I wanted to get it 134.50 this morning. With all the meetings, and enough time to get it out. It's a pity now. Do you want to chase it now, or are you a bit nervous of it? Carry it down here. Maybe 100 pips stop. You certainly get a risk reward. You take it to there. You want to chase it now? Look at the other charts quickly. The 1 hour. Remember the work for all of them. This is the 1 hour times 50. Battling to get through there. See, not much follows even on the 15-minute. Do you be patient, try and get a better price and risk missing it? Maybe you're right there. Okay, I'm sort of been on the fence a bit on it now. You push me to wait. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, dollar Canadian. Oh, trouble these two, this is like Euro and the NZD, although Zef did very well. I had a couple others joined him. They seem to go in unison, these two, don't they? I mean, badges up to dollar in America. The name goes almost in the same direction with sympathy. Well, they're completely different economies, surprisingly, really. I don't think trade a lot between them, but it's a different setup there. Whatever. I'm not sure what we want to do with this one. I know what I want to do. It's solid, to be honest. But anyone want to do something with this one? No, I can, but I instead of rebooting it, I just ignore it. Sorry. If it's annoying you, I'll stop the share and reboot it. Doesn't take long. If it's annoying, I'll do it. Didn't want to stop the share for a moment to do it. Okay, fine. Could is a big no on me, yeah. Hell no. I'm sure I'll leave that one. Okay, if it does bother anyone out there, I'll stop the share and reboot. Won't take long. Not the whole entire computer, just the charts. Okay. If you want to do the US dollar CAD, give me the figures, we'll put it up, but I'm not keen. Sorry, Morris. Are you keen? AUD-JPY we looked at earlier on, and we decided to sit in the fence job on that one at this stage. You see, fundamentally, technically, it's going to test resistance, come off a bit. That's downside. Fundamentally, I'm not so sure. And now they're easing off from the COVID restrictions in China. I think there's going to be some a little bit of strengthening Aussie dollar. It's affected what happens in China with that free trade agreement. And I think the Japanese yen is a little bit overbought. I think the possibly fundamental upside. Technically, I see downside. So I decided I'd just sit on the sideline. Sorry about that. Seems to be the name of the game at the moment. Well, if you did, fine. If you're long on it, well, fine, but whatever. I'm leaving it alone. Yeah. In a nutshell, then. Okay. I'm leaving it alone. If you're in modified, stop into a profit or whatever, play around with it to make yourself comfortable. You seem to be doing quite well earlier on, I know that. So don't want to spoil that up. Looking good. US Swiss franc. I think the dollar might strengthen a bit. I'm not sure I'll be short on that, to be honest. I think the short sellers are finito. I think, if anything, might some buyers come in. Anyone that joins Sipindili there to sell this at these levels? We think I'm just going to loop. So that, excuse me. Okay. Leave it alone. I'm leaving it alone on this one as well. Okay, AUD-NZD. Well, that's more Zef territory. I'm sure he's here at the moment. Are you here there? No, he's here. No, he's not here at the moment. Other work to do, probably. Well, I wasn't too keen, but I'm going to be upfront on that. But some of the guys went along with Zef and shorted it and actually did okay in the end. I'm still too nervous to short these levels. Nothing's changed on my part. And I haven't seen any indication of a bounce. I thought there might be a chance of a bounce off that consolidation. It didn't occur. So who knows, it might come off further. That's not, sorry. I'm being incredibly boring today. I'm very sorry, guys. But rather be very boring. Sorry, rather be very boring and jump into something and then kick yourself afterwards. But I might miss out on this, but I'm not chasing it down yet, and I'm still nervous to buy it. That's what it's got to be, but surely there's got to be some sort of upside coming soon. And I think with the relaxation of the COVID restrictions, there might be some upside on the Aussie. I personally think it's a bit undervalued there. That's just my opinion. I think there could be some buyers coming in here. I think 106 is going to hold. I think there'll be some upside there. I'm leaning towards the upside, but I'm not confident I'd say jump in and do it. Let's look at the weekly. See, it's still a sell zone there as well. I just think, look, it's come off nearly 900 pips since 25th of September. That's just over a month and a week or two, about 5 to 6 weeks. It's a hell of a lot. It's a bit of support here. I think there must be some buyers being attracted to this soon. Well, not much confirmation there. Look at that. See, still coming in. I think it's possible it's going to grind to a bottom and then start getting a bit of a move up. So it's no confirmation to buy it. And I'm nervous to say here. That's my last view on the subject. Okay, I'm going to leave this alone as well. So it's that record this morning. Yeah. Mind you, thank you guys. A couple of strong-minded guys got the Brent out. So rescue. Very rare you get between us. Don't get one trade. Very rare. And look at 86 of the Brent. So you're already up 40 odd pips. Brilliant. Or 40 cents in this case. Any comments on this one? Okay, we'll move on then. GBP, JPY. Yeah, I'm totally with you there, Emery. We looked at earlier on, and I said, I didn't see anything exciting there at all. We went to a little bit earlier on. And as a consensus, I think it was overwhelming on this one. Leave it all there. Do you think that you'll be selling yen now, or just as less of lead shedding? You mentioned that he's a bit still wary of the Japanese strength. And then that means if you're selling, if you buy this, you're selling yen. But is the pound that great? Maybe remember the pound of Japanese yen are doing. Look what those buyers and sellers are doing. They're going nowhere. Mind you, having said that, it might be bigger than you think. You want to buy it? That's 80 pips stop down here. So you're talking nearly 100 pips stop loss to go along, but no, sorry. To be honest, I think that's to go in now. I think it's more of a gamble than a process of strategic thought. Okay, so leave that for now. GPY. Okay, sorry, it's such a boring one. This one, I hate it was like this, but what I do about it. The markets will do what the markets will do. Don't listen to me always, unfortunately. Okay, let's just sort of recap on gold, see what's happening there. I think it's more of a fun than a lot of people going in. Not much happening. It's not much fun for traders, no, Conan, you're right. Yeah, gold, just a quick look at gold. It's come off about $2. Nothing to write home about, but then it's going the short way anyway, as I expected. Let's have a quick look at the technical. It broke through yet? I still haven't broke through, see. I'm more comfortable setting it breaks through, but I haven't done that yet. It's aggressively going now. So yeah, if anyone hasn't traded before they come here, believe me, it's just a little bit of this Monday morning blues. It's normally a lot more exciting than this. And a lot of us are a little bit shell-shocked of the amazing fundamental effects on the market last week. Wasn't our finest hour, which wasn't mine anyway. One guy said, hang on, I'm trying to get some signals. Where are they? Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm just sort of signal that. I think I believe in it. Yeah. Obviously. Okay. Well, yeah, Brent seems to like us to look. Oh, it's come off of it. I said that. At least it's in profit. Okay. I think some guys went for an NZD CAD on Friday. Got it written down here, so you must have done. Just noticed it now. With a sell at 86.30. Don't know anyone took that. Yeah, that's where it gets very frustrated, Sean. Oh, that irritates. Well, it's sort of coming right. I think it's a bit early yet to move your stock. At least it's nearly 30 pips. They say 25 pips in profit. So at least that's going okay. I think I'm dying up some downside of this one. I think that's a little bit. I think I don't know, given that bounce its strength, you know, I think it might be some downside here, but I'm not confident. Wow. Okay, yeah. No. I think the possibility of some downside there. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's look at yen again. Yeah, I think we might have missed this. So keep putting your headphones on again, try and get a better price. Doesn't seem to be occurring. I'll be honest, I think if it comes back to 135 or just below again, I might take it. The dollar's holding up fairly well at the moment. Anyone want to put a pending order in for maybe 134.80 or 135? Anyone want to do this one? Possibilities upside here. Okay. If you say Mark, I'll do it, but I'm just thinking of pending. Should we not get too cute? Need to make it 135. I think stop, make it there, stick with that one. Yeah, I'll stick with that. That's good enough. Great risk reward ratio, 140 bucks, not terrible. Not a killer. If you want to go and market, well, that's your choice, but it's only 9 pips away. But if you want to try and get a pending order on that, anyone like that, try to come off and the buyers seem to be coming in. Shall we go a weekly quickly? Not telling you much. Maybe I'll tell you a bit more. Yeah, look at that. On the hourly, that's probably not bad. As it comes off, the buyer's coming in pretty quick. So I'm liking it more as the moments go by. I feel sort of doing that, flicking time zones on chance to see. And that's telling me as it comes off, the buyers are coming in. So if you want to go and market, you still get a good risk reward. If you want to go in pending, that's the one. Who wants to go and market? Who wants to do pending? Tell me and I'll write it down. Take a chance on the pending, okay? Okay. Don't be pedant here, Farney, but I'm doing a pending. You're not in on the pending. You just got to get filled first. But I'm just being bloody awkward. Of course, I know what you mean. Sometimes I have to be pedantic because people say, I'll buy this sell, which of course you've got to understand that it's not a buy, it's a sell, or vice versa. 133.90. It's quite a wide stop, but I'd rather have that than be knocked about. So work out your position size accordingly with the information you have there. Yeah, it does, right? Breathe some life and So whether it's filled or not, I'm counting that as a trade. So we got Brent and this one out. No, it's a buy limit. Buy stop is above the market. I want to get clarified this. Not many trades at the moment, so I'm giving a clarification. If you, I know it's all done in platform trading, but so I have to do this quickly. I'm not leaving now on platform trading. But pending orders work like this. Obviously, market, you go to market. If you don't want to go to market, you want a different price to the market. If it's a higher price, and that might sound strange, but it might break through resistance to go into the higher price, you put a buy stop in, it's above the market. So if you wanted to buy stop, you'd say, I'm going to enter if it breaks 136 for argument's sake, you put a buy stop at 136. If it's below market and 135 is, it'll be a buy limit. And the same applies for sell stop, sell limit. And as well, the buy stop and sell stops are very useful when you're trading. Expect volatility on the fundamental coming out. You put a buy stop above and a sell stop below. And when the fundamental comes out, in theory, one should be kicked in, then you delete the other one, and then the other one is in place. It's taking you in. Again, if you're new here, please, if you've got a pending order, you're not in the market. Like I put a pending order on Gerard's house, £1 million for argument's sake. I put a pending order as a buy, offered to purchase at 950. I'm not in the market. He hasn't accepted it. He might do, but he hasn't at this stage of the game. And if I withdraw it, then there's no cost. People say, did it cost me? No, just putting an offer in. You just delete it if you say, I don't have it anymore. And don't forget, the GTC is good till cancelled. And the daily means if you put in day and it's not triggered or filled as the correct term, during that day, it will be withdrawn. Good till cancelled. It'll sit there as a pending order till you delete it yourself. Don't forget that. So ignore the GDC and the day or whatever once you're in the market. People think, oh, I'm in that for a day and then it's close to me. No, of course not. Once you're in the market, you'll always be in there unless either you close it or it hits your stop loss or TP. If you don't close it, then it's stop loss TP. You'll be there forever. Another one often comes out. How long will I be in this trade? And I say to everyone, my answer is I don't know. Depends on market volatility. Could be a few hours, could be a few days, might be a couple of weeks, depending on the situation. You're in there till either exit or it's a stop loss. And that's why you modify. It's all about risk evaluation, risk management, equity management, you name it. But a lot of problems with one guy who basically got slippage on his stop. And he couldn't understand why. What's the stop for? The stop is a buy or a sell order, guys. Don't forget that. There's no buyers or sellers. I go back to Gerard's house. I'm trying to buy off him this hypothetical house of yours, Gerard. Sell. If no one's going to buy it £1 million, let's say, sorry, the stop loss at 950, and there's no buyers at 950, and the house price keeps falling until it finds a buyer. It might be at 900. So stop loss at 950. There's no buyers there. Same principle. And what he did as well, he regularly knew about trading. Well, I question that because he went in 3 micros on the Dow with a £500 account. In my opinion, he shouldn't touch the Dow unless he got 7-8 grand on a minimum one micro. He went on because of a high leverage account. Obviously, if we understand the cons as well as the pros of leverage. He went in 3 micros of £500 account and had a sudden move, and it went through a stop, and it stopped him at a lower price. And it even went below his margin call. And obviously, he's unhappy chappy. And tried to explain to him, and oh, I know trading and all that. Well, I'm really rude. We clearly don't, because the comments he's making, he didn't understand. Remember, I'm going to go back to his highly leveraged. Not frightened of it, we understand it. A 500 to 1 leverage means you divide the deposit by 500, so it's like 0.02% deposit. Put that in figures. We'll go back to my favorite house of Gerard, which he still hadn't, not going to send me 950, by the way. So I'm going to pull my buy limit on your house there. Tough. Joking apart, it's like £1 million. The 5 to 1 means you're putting a 2,000 rand deposit down. See, that's all right. For 2 grand to buy a house. But house, let's say it falls a small percentage. 1% of £1 million is 10,000 rand. So just for 0.02% 0.3% or something like that. Or was it, no, sorry, 0.3%. So less than 1%, not a third of 1% it falls, the underlying house price. And you can only get out at that 3,000 down. Not you lost your $2,000, you owe $1,000. So you've got to remember that. And you say, how can you lose more than you put in? Normally speaking, it doesn't occur because you're going to get margin for it. The only time you don't is when your position size is heroic, because you don't understand, or overexposed, and you might have a 7-10 pip jump on the Dow, and it goes right through your stock. There's no buy or sell that specific place because you're so incredibly overexposed, and that's what happened to the poor person. Which happens. I sympathise with it, but I've given the explanation. I wasn't prepared to listen. There is definite extreme pros of leverage. Business used all the time, fantastic pros. Like every pro, every yin was a yang. That house price drops by 1%. 1% of a million rand is 10 grand. You know, you just knock you for 10 grand, you get the idea. It doesn't normally happen, to be honest. If you've got a proper position side, liquidity's there, you're okay. But if you suddenly got a 5-run account, go into the Dow because your margin's so small, you're going to, let's say, 5 micros, didn't have to move much to basically the margin for you. Never mind where your stop is. Just bear that in mind. Very important. Hope you all got that. Look, experienced guys here will know that already. I have to be honest as well. You've got to do the basic maths. If you battle to do the basic arithmetic on it, it's going to be a battle to do this. Because you know you've got to understand the contract size, the S&P is the same as gold, the same as the Dow, it's 10. Makes, you know, but the numbers are different. Those basic arithmetic side you need to conquer. Very important. Okay, I hope everyone got that. Hope everyone understood that. You might only have $2,000 on the market, but your exposure in a 5-to-1 is $1 million. So you don't have to move much that $1 million to give you problems. Mind if it goes your way, you make a big, quick, fat buck, but you've got to protect the down. Yeah, downside. A lot of it's polished than the dollars are, yeah. We'll do the pound short. Remember, when you're dealing with the dollar ZAR, that's called an exotic, so you track much higher costs. It's about 12 bit costs. Don't forget that. So don't do that for your starter. If you like the dollar yen, a dollar rand, and you've experienced at it, you know the costs, you know the ups and downs, you understand it, all that, not a problem. If you're new to it, leave it alone. GBP, well, don't you ask first, I'll do it quickly. This is politically driven. It went to 1780, I think, on Friday. I mean, I didn't expect to, just on this, Ramaphosa would fold immediately. He's made a stir stuff on that, whether you like him or not. I mean, the fact you got that position, we even don't like the open. I mean, I think it's got a bad try personally, but anyway, didn't say he's just going to fold in 2 seconds flat. So I think he might fight a bit. We'll see anyway. So anyway, on that subject, we came off a bit because the main worry around Ramaphosa, whether you like it or not, who else are you going to have? And the worry might be somebody else from the swamp, if you like, use American term, who makes things worse. That's why it jumped to 1780. And then it looks like he's going to put up a fight to the rand strength a bit. Too much political interference, I think beneficial for. I think I personally suggest you leave it away. Okay. Dollar yen, pound dollar, a little bit more different. Yeah, I think some downside here. I think if you want to be, let's see our chart, if you want to be a little bit safer, maybe a bit of a break. Don't you have to break through here to sell it? Maybe a little bit lower. I don't know. But I personally think the dollar's going to go up and the pound's overcooked. Personally speaking, I'm on your side on this one, finally, sure. It is quite aggressive because technically still in the buy zone. Let's look at the weekly. See, there's in the sell zone, which helps, of course. On the 4-hour, that 10-day moving average is holding at the moment. A few buyers attracted. Not sure it's going to last. The dollar's slightly stronger. It's now 104.5 from 104, just over 104 earlier on. Got that one right, hey, finally. Yeah, I see downside of this one. Do you want a confirmation? Might want a confirmation break there on the 1 hourly to sell it down there, or do you want to go in now or get a better price? But I do see downside on this, yeah. I agree with you. Let's see about that just a second. It is reasonably aggressive. That's why I'm hesitant a little bit, because I've got a lot of guys responsible to deal with out there. But I'm bringing this. Might pop up or down. Remember, I don't know where that next pit's coming from. Might pop up another 10 and come off a bit. But the overall picture I see is a bit of downside. Might get a bit of noise here on the hourly, but I'm not sure it'll be sustained. Sort of 15 minutes. Right, the 15-minute seat. Look what happens. Sellers are coming in, it goes up, sellers are coming in, goes up, sellers are coming in. Right, it's going up a little bit at the moment, but I see a little bit, not as yet. Okay. Maybe get it on the sell or on the bid, 1.2270, and it might come off. But I do see a sell on this one. But can I, yeah, politics of dollars are legal, in my opinion. There could we put the stop. Remember, on the pound chart, for some reason, that little space is actually a lot more than it looks. Yeah, 90 pips. How far? That's not going to carry it down there. You probably see, actually, probably take it about here, I reckon. You might even go further. Don't forget, you can modify your stop. Don't forget that. And I'm telling you, I've often forgotten that. And hit the TP and gone on. I think, damn, I should have modified the TP, modified the stops. If it doesn't work, never mind. Still make a profit. But I could have had more out of it. I forget sometimes. So. Yeah, have a look at this, see what you think. Two, 3, 5, 5. Not sure where this pound strength is coming from, because fundamentally it's a front effing mess, I tell you. I think we can gain 2060. Now, nice risk reward, 150 bucks a micro. Just want to go back to the 15-minute. See, as it pops up, the sellers are coming in. The sellers are coming in. Look, popped its head up there. See, the sellers, all right. Thank you very much, mate. The sellers seem to be coming in. Well, there we are. I think it's possibly downside on this one. But bloody time, eh, Mr. Cullen, I think it's called Cullen. Try and get your name out before you're short, it's easier. But bloody time. Right, before we have a look at the yen, just go back to this one. That's my fault, trying to pronounce some of these names. I've got a Hungarian client, can't speak English. So I have to sort of broken English on the WhatsApp to assist. Try some of these Hungarian names. Of course it's Irish, yeah, I knew that, yeah. But yeah, you try some of these Hungarian names. Whoa, yo. Right, never mind Hungarian. Polish names. Whoa. Or the click names, the cause of the click sound. Can't even say cause it properly. You like it, okay? Let's go to 1 hour. 15 minutes again. Some sellers coming in, there we are. I have to say, I actually quite like this. Who's going to join finally here? Yeah, it's like Siobhan. It's actually spelled Siobhan. Yeah, I was confused. Or my brother-in-law is Irish, so his daughter is about as Irish as me. You know, she's born and brought up and never been to Ireland, and she's called Aisling, which is pronounced like Aisling, something like that. Good enough. Let's get this down. What do you got? Set 22. That's good enough. $22.73, 1.2355. 1.2060. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. But now you've gone and pops up a couple of pips. That's normal. I agree with you on finally. That was called Sod's Law. Look at that moment. There you are. I've written it down. You reckon NGAS? Okay, NGAS is good. I'm not kidding. NGAS. No, gives me more hassle. It gives me bloody fun to find a hassle this thing. Seem to be on the bounce now, but if you want to do it, you can do it. I'm not keen. Leave the buggying alone. So I've had a couple of good ones, but I've also had my main hassle just doesn't seem to get going. Leave it for the time being. I'm looking for a buy on that one. I talked about 6 year about now about the yen. I thought the dollar yen. Cool. Have a look at that moment. We'll more in that one to check it. Is it happening up? Yeah, we're doing okay in the dollar yen. Yeah. I hope we got filled, by the way. Some guys might not have got filled on the buy limit. Some might have taken anyway. But did it come back to fill? Has anybody? Sorry, before going further, did anybody get in on the dollar yen? Depending on what it looks like, ain't going to be filled. Pity about that. Finally, but Juan's got it. It's good enough. So keep an eye because somebody got in it. Good, fantastic on it. Okay, fair enough. A bit late, but anyway, it's doing okay. Never mind, you're in anyway. Sorry, US dollar CAD and the CHF JPY. I definitely see upside on that. But it gave me jip on Friday, but I still see upside on it. It's testing a resistance here, but I think that's going to be overcome. No, I don't. Weekly. Sorry, no, sorry. He's a hell of a wide stop. Remember, this is only 11 hours old, this candle, and you put it into range on that. Maybe it's a 4-hour stop. You're going to have to use the 4-hour for a stop on the 4. Even then, it's 100 pips. And there's a bit of resistance there. So, yes, I like it. Yes, I agree with the wrong. I'm sorry, I might be missing it. Yeah, I've gone back to there. I saw that, yeah. But I do see upside, yeah. Do you want to wait for a better price or do you want to go in now? I'm a bit 50-50 on that. Well, there's enough in it on the dollar yen to say we count as a trading room trade. So let's see if we can get some good stuff out of it. We'll go back to it later on. All right. Anyone who want to join it now or for a better price? I'm inclined to a slightly better price. Let's look at a shorter term. Doesn't seem pulling back much, does it? Do you want to try and get a better price, or do you want to try and get Q on it now? What do you think? Any takers? It's going to be too far down here. I think we've got to stop. I like it down there. That's about 180 pips. Okay. Choose a 4-hour for the stop. CPF, don't think it's going to work. We'll try there. Don't think so. 145.90. Don't think it's going to work. I have to put a high one. No, it's not going to work. Okay. Well, I have to put the CPU to make that work. Okay. But if it doesn't go further than that, it comes off and it stops here somewhere, you'll still make a few pips, to say the least. I find that surprising. A CAD should be a sure thing, you know. I think the Brent's going to go up. But it seems to be strange, that Canadian at the moment, but I hear you. But I think that The Canadian blues days are over. I think it's going to continue up now, if you're in. Don't going to last. Okay, there you are if you want it. Okay, going to do 2 clips going to go after that now. We've got CHFJPY. Remember, if you got burnt last time, so you burnt the second time. That was yesterday. This is today, remember. 144.61, 143.75, 146.47. Don't forget, you guys, it's not set in stone, the TP. It might not get there, still make a profit out of it. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to get some upside. I think we're going to get some upside on this. Just got to break through here. Break through here, we can get something. Maybe stop down here somewhere, take it back up there. I think it's going to get back up there personally, but we'll have a look later on that. Not today, but I mean this afternoon, not now. Dollar yen still doing okay? Ish. Okay, got to break through there. What about a gold trade? It's coming off a bit. Okay, if you did it, many people did. Brent, 85.56. People chasing it there. I think some people already. Look at that. Hey. Look at that. Up $1 already. GBP USD, anything happening there? It's gone up a bit, but I won't panic as yet. Pound's a bit of a funny character, I tell you. Keep a strong eye on that cat JPY. I think we can bounce from here. If you're in long already, I'm giving a bit of problem there, but I think that's going to get taken out. We shall see. Might hover a bit, pull back a bit, but I think it's going to get taken out. Hell of a wide stop, but I still see that's a potential buy there. Want to leave it for now and have a look later on. You can do it, but you keep an eye. You don't have to wait till 4 to see a potential trade there. Go for it. I think we're getting upside there. Okay. I totally understand that. Trade the retrace of JPY. In other words, sell a JPY. Sometimes the base currency. Actually, sorry, it's always a secondary currency. There's no JPY as ever the base currency. So it's always a buy if you think there's going to be some weakness coming in the yen, which I do. Yeah. But I think it's going to be looking at 101 or better when we come to 4 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, guys, it's a bit lackluster today, but with your help, and I have to say thank you very much indeed. We've got to count the gold. Doesn't mean people went for it, but anyway, we've got down a bit of fun trade. I went for shorts and loans for long. The Brent's doing just nice. Dollar yen's doing fine. CHFJPY, we just got in, so can't really count that. It's about even Stevens at the moment. GBP USD is slightly up, but nothing to worry about us yet. So thank you guys, and see you later. Let's see if we can get some quick smiles back on the face and some action on the shares as well, the forex later on. Okay, guys, as always, great to have you. It turned out a bit more fun this session than I actually thought. I went in a bit doom and gloomish, not from losing or making, from boredom and nothing happening. But well done. You turned it around. I have to say, not me, you guys. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you. I should put down thank you guys myself for that. Brilliant. Okay, guys. Great. See you later. Okay, Sephora, yeah. I don't know how you do so well, Sephora, because you spend a lot of time here, or maybe it's all this wonderful knowledge you're picking up here and applying it in your work, because you seem to be doing pretty well on the things this morning. Well done.